Hello everybody and welcome back to part 4 of my playthrough of Final Fantasy II on the Pixel Remaster collection. When we left off last time we managed to acquire the Mithril and take it back and get access to a load of Mithril weapons. And then since then we've been told to go and seek out Josef so that we can get access to the Sunfire to destroy the Dreadnought that we recently saw bomb all of the cities that we've previously been to. So we're back in Salamand, which is where I left off last time, and if you remember correctly, Josef is in one of the buildings here. I believe it's the back right one. And he's more inclined to help us now because we rescued his daughter Nelly, or Paul rescued his daughter Nelly, but both of us did. Combination. And as they say, there's a snowmobile we can get hold of to go through the snowy area to the west, to the east, and Josef is the person who has one. So we'll go inside, we can speak to Nelly who will just thank us, and we can speak to Josef who will offer to join us and lead us to go and get his snowmobile. All because Borghen had kidnapped her and threatened her. And if you remember, I think it might have been, I think it was last episode, probably would have been cut to last episode, there was a secret room in Semet Falls. Or there was an exclamation mark, an interactable point in Semet Falls. Now we can go there, and if you also remember, we were missing a chest, so that will be the 11th chest we can get from Semet Falls. So now that we're finished in here, that's the next place we're going to go and head to. Feel free to restock on items and whatnot if you need to. Don't necessarily need to worry about buying new gear for Josef. He does start out as a monk, or the equivalent of a monk, so he doesn't start with any weapons equipped. But feel free to gear him up, just don't go out of your way to buy him stuff, because as with all party members, we won't keep them for very long. With the exception of one probably joins us for quite a good period of time. So now we want to head back to Semet Falls, which if you remember is to the left and down. And there's two routes you can take. You can go down, loop around the mountain and back up, or you can go all the way to the left and then use the canoe along the water trail to get there. So just follow the route I'm taking and we'll get there in no time. Just enjoy the ambience from the overworld. And the massive encounter rate that this game has. It really is a nice thing that there's no canoe encounters in this, unlike Final Fantasy 1 where it was different types of enemies you had to find. I suppose the only upside of the encounter rate in this game is definitely the case of you're much more likely to fill out the beast tree. So up in here, interact with this spot, and Josef will get us through. Because he's super powerful and can just punch a hole through the wall. And head on in and we'll get a snowcraft, snowmobile. Whichever. Both. And there we go. So now that we've acquired the snowmobile, and we've got all of the chests in Semet Falls now, so the only place we're missing some from is Finn, which we'll be back to at some point in the future, we can go to the next area, which is we're going to need to head to Snow Cavern. So let's leave this place. You can teleport out if you want to. Or if you want to do some fights just for the gil and potential XP. Now head all the way back the way we came, and we want to go north from here. Basically, where Salamand is, the area we're going to is north of that, but the only way around is to the far left, around some more mountains. Up here through the trees, and then right along here. There's two enemies you can encounter here. The Snowman being immediately one of them, which is an upgraded version of the Sasquatch. And then there's going to be the Icicle as well, but we will also encounter those when we go into Snow Cavern. These are a lot tougher than the Sasquatches we've previously been fighting. This area is kind of going to be like a quick stat check for you. You don't necessarily need to be able to one-shot all the basic enemies in the game, but you could, if some of your party can. That's kind of what you're aiming for, especially if you're going through the entire dungeon in one go. So another encounter with Snowman. Yeah, we're just looking for icicles, but you will also encounter these inside the dungeon that we're going to get to. Just follow the route along here, and then far to the right, we're going to encounter the entrance of the dungeon. You should be able to see it on your map as like the next section of mountains, just randomly not connected to anything else. And there we go, they're the icicles. So take these out, and then we've acquired all the beastry encounters that we're looking for right now. They're not too tough, but they can hit reasonably hard, and I believe they can cast the blizzard spell on you, so could potentially cause you some problems should they not get taken out quickly. And then we're up to 17 out of 128. Again, this is including the captain, which you may or may not have dealt with at this point. So if you haven't, don't worry. But in the snow cavern, there's a lot of enemies that we're going to be looking for. I believe it's 7 new ones. 3 of them we will guarantee encounter from chests, and 2 of them will encounter just from going through, so the rest is just ones we're looking for. And this is one of them, Deadheads. Low HP and low defense, or I say low HP, just low defense. They'll take a lot of damage per character, and as I said, with all these enemies being improvements, we should start leveling up our stats on weapons again. And again, they can cast magic at you. So the first chest we want is up here to the top left, and the second chest is just below it, and you can see it there. Ghoul is another new enemy that we're looking for. These improved versions of the zombie, and they can paralyze you, although it is a low chance. Paralyze works the same as it does before, where you just lose every turn that you try and take, but slowly, eventually you'll recover. I believe it's a 25% chance each turn. So I want to grab this chest here, and then proceed all the way down to the bottom, ignore the door, and there's another enemy we're looking for, the balloon. Not the balloon, the grenade. Just improved version of the balloon. The self-destruct ability it uses is bigger, so it will deal more damage to you all. But not anything. But you should always be able to take them down before they explode. Whenever you're fighting bombs and other things in the same engagement, or balloons, or what they call them in this, make sure you try and deal with those first, just so they don't do an explode attack on you. So next floor, we want to loop all the way around to the top, and then just go down the stairs here. We'll be back here. No, go up here. So go through the stairs here, and we'll be back up to this area in the future. So down into B3. And there is one chest we can get here, which is on the left. You have to go up and around, and then to go up to the area where we want to take the top right stairs, and to proceed through this dungeon, we want to take the bottom left stairs. So we're going to go and grab the chest to the left, and then go through or up the stairs to the top right to go back to the floor we were just on, as well as go through whatever amount of encounters we get on the way. So that's that chest open. So now we're fighting the shadows as well. So these can also paralyze you, and are probably the strongest physical attacking thing you can fight at this point in the game. But again, their HP is similar to everything else we've been fighting, so these should go down in 1 to 2 hits depending on who hits them. Like Therian, Guy, and Josef will pretty much be one-shotting everything. Maria doesn't, purely because we haven't really given her that much of an upgraded bow. So but we will hit the point where she gets elemental bows, then she'll just do as much damage as everybody else with multi-hits, even when they've got 2 weapons equipped or just below them. But yeah, we're up to 21 encounters now in the bestiary, so we're getting through a lot of the enemies in this area that we're looking for. So yeah, the Deadhead was one of them, the Ghoul was another, then the Shadow, and then the other one we've encountered so far was the Grenade, which was 100. And we're looking for 3 more, 2 of which we will guarantee encounter. So yeah, back up these stairs. And then there's 3 chests here, so bottom right, middle, and bottom left. So just follow the route around. Grab the first one. A lot of the engagements in this dungeon will always be like 4 to 5 monsters, so again, just make sure you keep yourself topped up. Ambushes can do you in, but we should start hitting the point now where our HP is slowly leveling high enough that we can take on a lot of engagements, and as long as we're hitting first, we should be taking very minimal damage. Next chest is here. And then up the top is the last chest, and we get a monster engagement, which is lots of grenades. If you've got magic here, feel free to use those, or if you're one-shotting them, feel free just to go through them all. But yeah, as you see, the self-destruct ability they use will go up 2 tiers per rank of enemy you fight. So the first one would do self-destruct 1, this one does self-destruct 3, so 85 damage isn't ever going to one-shot us, but it's significant enough that if 2 or 3 of them are able to explode and they target the same character, or in combination with other things attacking us, it can definitely take us out, so always be wary. Magic is a good way to deal with them as well, because obviously you can multi-hit all of them. We've been picking up some new equipment, but nothing major that's going to replace what we got, because we've already got all the mithril gear. It's just Maria that's lacking a little bit, but again, just try and keep yourselves topped up on HP. It's definitely why you want the cure spell on everybody. And sometimes the lower the level it is, the better. So go back down the stairs we came through. And now we want to go all the way to the bottom left to proceed to the next floor of this dungeon. We get lots of encounters while we run along here. Now this floor has 4 chests, 2 up here and 2 in the bottom right. So just make a loop around. Again, ignore the door, it's just an encounter room that we'll see on the right hand side. And then proceed down the next set of stairs in the top right. It may stand corrected, I'm not sure if snowmen do spawn in this dungeon, but icicles definitely do. I don't think we've seen any snowmen in here. But yeah, the last 2 chests are down here. Potion. And a mithril spear. Mithril spear, decent enough. But some we've already got equipped, so don't need to worry about getting hold of them, unless you just didn't buy one, in which case here you go. And then the next floor will have another 2 chests on, one in the top left and one in the bottom left. All the doors of the door on the left side is just an encounter room, the door on the right hand side at the bottom is the way that we're trying to go. So just keep punching through all the encounters. You don't need to go in here again, it's an encounter room, but if you're trying to find a specific enemy, feel free. We haven't had one spawn yet. Because there's still 3 we're looking for, and only one of them is one we can't forcefully encounter. We may be looking for it for a little while. But I do believe it only spawns on the bottom floor, or the bottom 2 floors. Another ambush, so just make sure you keep yourselves topped up. The fact that enemies can... the self-destruct is significant, enemies can start casting spells on you now. And that does confirm it, snowmen do spawn in this dungeon. So yes, everything you fought outside you can fight in here. Definitely thought they'd be on the upper floor. We'll start getting more encounters in chests now. And the Ancient Sword is definitely an improvement over the Mithril Sword, but the accuracy massively goes down. So how high do you value the damage increase on it? Therian's accuracy is probably high enough at this point to make use of it, but at the end of the day it's up to you. I'll probably switch over to it a little bit later. In this room you can interact with all, I think they're beavers? Yeah, giant beavers. They just make weird noises to you. But if we speak to the one up here between the 2 rocks, Guy apparently can speak to beavers. Which is a bit weird, but yeah, we'll want to ask about the goddess spell. And there, give Guy some information. And there we go. This is going to be a secret passage in the wall to the right. So you could just fumble around and interact with all of the sections on the wall to the right, but the one we want is the highest most one there. Yep. Then you can just walk through, and takes us to another floor. It's 1 more chest we want here, which is in the bottom right. But make sure you're prepared for when you open. Make sure you're prepared after you open it for when we proceed up the stairs. But yeah, there's still one more enemy we're looking for, which for some reason I'm yet to encounter. So getting Cure up to level 3. We are aiming to get at least one spell to level 16 in this game. Probably will be Cure for the achievement. Just remember, if you level it to level 16 while in battle, you won't get the achievement. Silver Cuirass, something we were looking at buying earlier, so here's a free one. Definitely better than the Copper Cuirass. And then you can see a boss there that is what we need to defeat in order to proceed up to grab the Goddess Bell. But there's one enemy we're looking for, which is number 17, which is Jewel Heads. And it will match the name that it has. But yeah, we've got everything but the remaining 3 in this area, which is the Adamantoise, which we can currently see on our screen, the boss that comes after that, and Deadheads. And your beastry should be matching mine now, and it should go up to 24 if you get everything in this dungeon, or 23 again if you haven't fought the captain. So just bear that in mind. If you've not fought the captain, your encounter rate in the beastry will always be 1 less than mine, but this is what you should be at the moment. But yes, I'm just going to be running around now looking for a Deadhead, so unless it's something I find very, very soon, I'm going to meet you back shortly when I do find the encounter. So I've just been running around this floor in its entirety, and there we go, we finally found Jewel Heads. So as you can see, they match the description quite well, because they do have 2 heads. Quite tough. I believe these all need 2 attacks to go down for pretty much every character that's not Josef. And they hit reasonably hard. But I think the highest encounter match you can get for them is 3. I believe it's 1 to 3. This spawn amount for them, but these are the last enemies we were looking for, and yeah, just run around on this floor and you will eventually encounter them. Hopefully it won't take you as long as it did for me. Now proceed all the way back around to the Adamantoise. Make sure you save up, or make a quick save before this, and that you are fully healed up. This is the highest defense monster we fought at this point other than the captain. And it has reasonable magic defense as well, but you definitely want to use magic on this if you have if you've got a lot of MP spare. Ice magic is its weakness, but that's not really one we've picked up yet because this is one of the few enemies that's actually weak to ice. And if you've not got that, fire magic is the next best. Lightning won't really do that much to it. But yeah, definitely hits quite hard. Do about 100 damage a hit. Josef should be able to punch through his armor. Everybody else might be able to do a minor amount of damage, but they'll block a lot of... It will definitely block a lot of what we're chucking at it. It's got about just under 700 HP, so sustained hits from Josef will take it down. And if that's the case, just make sure you keep them topped up on health. But this will definitely level your weapons up because of the tier of the enemy. And only a couple of dungeons time, we'll start encountering this as a regular encounter. Which is not something I enjoy. This is probably one of the few Final Fantasy games where there's a lot of enemies that I will just run from. I won't fight them because they're too much of a problem. But there we go, Josef being the leading man and just absolutely taking this down. So slow death animation, but there we go, we've hit level 5 on everything and Josef's almost level 6 on his fisticuffs. You should get some good stat increase on everybody as well. So once you're done with that, make sure you're going to be topped up because we will be going into another boss fight soon, and then just grab the bell and head up the stairs. We're close enough now to the end of the dungeon that you don't need to overly worry about preserving your MP. Or we are basically at the end of the dungeon. So grab the Goddess Bell. Why it's in a random cave here, who knows? I don't think we'll ever get that fully explained, but you know, there we go. We've got the key item we were looking for, and that creates the stairs for us to get out. And we're good to go. So through here, and we're back at the exit. So just head up and around, go to the long set of stairs the way we came in. Nice encounters on the way, and there's Borghen, the traitor. So now he wants the goddess bell from us and to take us out. Or he just wants to take us out. Revenge from us. Get him into trouble. If you beat the Adamantoise, you will have no problem with him. And as you saw there, he just got absolutely taken out in one hit. His HP is much lower. We can actually hit him. No armor or much less armor. So there you go. Decent amount of gil. And then we get a nice bit of story time. We just walk around him. Why we can't do that when we're regularly walking, I don't know. But we may have lost, but do you think you've won? He's left us a booby trap. What could that be? Yep, there he goes. And uh-oh. Boulder coming down. We'll make it. We won't make it. And Josef somehow manages to stop it for us. What a proper monk he is. He's a strong boy. I mean, if he can stop it like that, I don't know why we couldn't have just helped him. But, yep, that's what's going to happen, and it's going to push him all the way down to the bottom. Should have just been able to punch one punch through the rock. And there goes Josef. It's a bittersweet death. We rescued his daughter after however long she was missing from him, and then he comes to help us, and that's it. He was a cool party member. I much preferred him to Minwu. But yeah, now we're down to 3. Josef is gone. And yeah, we got all the chests in Snow Cavern there. And we got all the encounters that we want. So again, we're just missing chests in Finn, which we will get in the future. And then yeah, beastry-wise, you should now be at 24. Assuming you did encounter the captain. Or 23 if you didn't. So now we're done here. We want to head all the way back to... where do we need to go now? We've got the snowmobile, we've got the goddess boat. We need to head back to Poft. We need to go and speak to Sid. And we'll book flight to Kashkan Keep, because that is where the Sunfire is held. And now that we've got the goddess bell, we're able to get there. So no shortcut away. We have to head all the way back and around. So enjoy numerous encounters. Again, turn the encounter rate off if it suits you better. And go all the way around. So Poft is to the south of Salamand, if you remember, or south and to the right. So yeah, that city over there, that's where we're looking to go. And we'll get numerous engagements along the way. Be a little bit of, not too long, but it'll be a little bit of time while we're down to 3 party members, but hopefully that's not causing you a problem. If you need to heal up along the way, feel free to go into Salamand, or if you think you can make it all the way to Poft, just go to Poft and you can rest up at the inn here. There's an inn at both places. And as you saw there, I was just leveling up magic. Remember, every time you're going to go into a city, always use your healing before you go in and rest up, because it's going to restock your MP anyway. So yeah, head into the pub and speak to Sid's underling and book passage to Kashkan Keep. I don't believe there is a way to get there without an airship at the moment. So this is one we'll definitely have to pay for. It's not too expensive, and yeah, we can go now. And they don't know what the goddess bell is. I believe you can go back to Altair if you want to and speak to Hilda about the goddess bell and the king, and they'll just like advise you to go to Kashkan Keep. But if that's not dialogue you're that worried about, you can skip, but I'm going to go and quickly speak to them now. So, just to show you the dialogue, I'll probably cut to just me being here, so it'll probably be a bit of a skip, but you should know where Altair is at this point. So, head on in, speak to Hilda. And they'll notice that Josef's dead as well for doing it. Yes. Just take the bell to Kashan Keep. And then that's all she'll say. And then right now, time is our enemy, Sid. So she's going to come along with Sid after we are finished. And then some of the other characters will just have the same dialogue as what they had before. So we can go speak to the king as well, which he's not in the southmost one, he's in this one. Still Minwu, so there's nothing you can do, but we can ask him about the goddess bell and the king. And yeah, they're still on the repeat dialogue. So now we'll want to be back to Poft, so I'll meet you there, and then we can take the airship over to Kashan Keep. Here we go, and now we'll take the airship. So Sid's going to drop us off, and then obviously Hilda's going to come and join us later with Sid. Why we couldn't all go together? Who knows? There's lots of other rebels that could come and assist us as well, but apparently that's not going to happen. So to the south of this area there is... those are not new enemies, thankfully. To the south of this area is an area you don't actually need to go to in this game. There's two, and we do need to visit every area, which is Chocobo Forest. You can come in here, speak to any of the Chocobos, and then you can ride it around the overworld. Disembark whenever you want. You will not get encounters while you're on a Chocobo, so it's not a bad thing to use if you just want to get around a little bit, but not something we necessarily need, especially when the area we're going to is directly out of us. And there's nothing else in here for you to go and interact with or deal with. Like in here, it's just Chocobos. Just scatter around, but yeah, we'll go back to Kashan Keep. As you can see, no encounters at all when you're riding one, so a good way of just running around the map with going from A to B. But between getting the airship and all the travelling you can do, and you can just in turn engage encounters off in this game, it's not something you ever need to worry about. So here we are in Kashan Keep, and there's a few enemies in here we need to encounter, and those are not though. So there's the Sunfire, but we don't have anything to pick it up yet. The Goddess Bell is not what we need to do that. The Goddess's Bell is what we need in order to get into the keep. So we use the key item, the Goddess Bell, on the door, and then it will open up for us. And inside, we will meet Gordon, who came to get the Sunfire himself, and he thought he was the only person who could open the door because obviously he's from the royal family this place relates to. So we're looking for Egil's torch. There's a monster den in here, so clearly there's a lot of monsters that we're going to encounter. So why don't we all team up? So yeah, in here I believe again it's 7 new enemies that we're looking for. 3 of them will be in chests and 1 will be... No, 2 of them will be in chests, and 1 of them will be a main story encounter. So we're just looking for several of the other ones. But yeah, we've got Gordon, who comes equipped with default gear, a spear, and some stuff. Make sure you equip him up, just so he's a bit of optimised. But again, don't worry about leaving and buying him gear and whatnot. He doesn't need anything in that capacity. So yeah, a couple of new enemies we're going to be looking for in here. And then we got last time, there's some chests in this area, so I believe there's 11 chests. So the only one on this floor is right at the bottom right. No new enemies there. He'll be relatively low stats. I think his stats are worse off than Josef, so we'll definitely have to carry Gordon. So the next upgraded version of the Goblin Prince. That's one of the encounters we're looking for, and yeah, just when you get massive encounters like this, magic's probably one of the better ways, but try and focus on taking them down first, because their bow attacks will definitely hurt. Ideally, Fire 4 will take out at least all of the Goblin Guards at this point, or whatever tier your Fire spell is at. Just take out the last one with physical attacks. Hopefully Gordon levels up his spear pretty quick as well, because we're all at level 5. Again, no new encounters, we're just encountering what we would have fought in the overworld, but yeah, he definitely needs to be improved, upgraded, especially when I've got mithril spears and stuff he can use, ups his attack stat quite a bit. The room here is just an encounter room, and then the way we want to proceed is up the stairs to the bottom, south of here. But Wererat, that's another one of the enemies that we're looking for. You'll just encounter a lot of these, but they're not too problematic. They're like the goblins of this area, the regular goblins of this area, just like the weakest enemy you can fight. And their accuracy is quite low, so we should be able to block or evade a lot of their attacks. And you just proceed down and up the stairs. The same enemies again. Only one chest here as well, which is in the top right, but to get it you need to go down, right, and then all the way up. But there's only one way to go. The other routes along here take you to dead ends. So proceed up this way. Ogres. Now these are tough and will hit very, very hard. You can take them down in 2 hits between Therian and Gordon, so they didn't quite punch us. But these will definitely be doing around 80 to 100, I think, per physical hit. And as you can see here, Adamantoise spawn here, and it has the exact same stat line as the one we just fought as a boss in Snow Cavern. So you can take these out, obviously with sustained magic, as I'll show you here. But from a lot of the future cases, I'm just gonna flee. There's no need to fight them. With the amount of time and effort it takes, I don't think it's worth it unless we get to the end of the dungeon and I just want a lot of XP, because you can just hit them. The more you hit them, there they are. So yeah, this is one of the things that the Wererats can do, which is just inflict poison on you, or venom, I think it's called. But yeah, we can't use a Asuna on it because our Asuna level is only level 1, and as Asuna levels up, it can hit different. It can get rid of different ailments. So at the moment we'll just have to use antidotes to get rid of it. But this is why you definitely want to level up Basura and Asuna. Or Basuna, however you say it. So this floor, again, there's only one chest, bottom left, and we'll get it as we go around to the top right, which is where the next set of stairs are. So just run all the way around. I think so that was some Wraiths, which were a new encounter in this area as well, I believe. As you can see, we're just going to start getting a lot of Adamantoises. Monster engagement, 5 Wererats, minor thing to deal with, but gold shield, that's a nice thing to get here. Just up our defense, and especially our evasion, a lot more than anything else, and it means we can switch over the mithril gear. Therian almost always will be my priority equip, but Guy, Therian, and Maria will always be around at the same time, so feel free to use to gear them up in whichever order you see fit, or whichever one you want to prioritize more than the other. But yeah, we've grabbed the chest here, so now we just want to proceed down, around, and up to the next set of stairs. I think Wererats are probably the most frequent encounter you get in this location. Do forgive me, it does look like I skipped over the Wraith fight. They're just an improved version of the Shadow. Hit you a bit harder, as well as, again, more likely to paralyze on you as we deal with all the zombie and skeleton tiers. They can cause this problem with another Adamantoise. It's the one downside of always entering a fight with ×4 or auto-battling on is you just attack things you want to run away from. So in this room specifically, there's 3 chests we can get in here. With some nice new gear. The Werebuster is got a lot of damage and only lowers your evasion slightly. So we're going to chuck that, I think, on and get Guy ready to switch over if he needs to. Mithril Sword, a little bit more damage, but down in every other stat, so no reason to use that at the moment. The rest of... so that there's the door in the top left is an encounter room. We want to head all the way down to the bottom left, and then into that door should be the next chest. And then the 2 sets of stairs we can take, each take us to different sections of the floors. This is the one we want to take first. And we can go up and around. So the land turtle, this is slightly weaker than the Adamantoise. And definitely one we can take out. And then the Ogre Mage is just got a similar stat line to the Ogre, except for it can also cast magic. And all of the magic multi-hits, which thankfully doesn't do too much, but it will be sustained on us all. So I'm just going to multi-cast magic back to heal us all up. Multi-targeting on every spell, and this is really, really nice. And yeah, the land turtle is very, very tough as well. It's reasonably hard. Thankfully, the Ogre Mage, because it will always almost always prioritize casting spells, won't do as much damage as the ogres themselves, but it does hit everything, which is part of the problem. And it's quite tough. I think it's about 150 HP. And yeah, this land turtle, while not as tough as the Adamantoise, because we're reliably doing damage to it, it's still got a lot of armor. But sustained hits will take it down. So just keep wailing on it. I enjoy seeing like 3 damage come up as such a minor amount. And there we go, but that's a lot of level increases on all of our weapons. And Gordon will slowly start catching up. But yeah, in this area we want to go to the top right, and in that room we'll get another 3 chests, as well as there's a chest in the dead center. And then we want to proceed all the way to the bottom left to take us back down a floor to get the remaining chest that's there. Just make sure you stay healed up. Gordon's probably the one that's going to need healing the most, but don't be afraid to use potions and stuff as well if it's more optimal than using heal spells, because we have got a limited amount of mana or MP. But yeah, so in this room, 3 more chests. And some Ghasts, so another improved version of, I can't remember what the previous version was called, it was Zombie and then something else, and now we're up to the Ghast. Should be around 80 to 90 HP, I believe. And again, just more likely to inflict Paralyze than the previous one, but again, we should be okay to get through them. Something I don't think I've mentioned, now that I've finally equipped 2 weapons on Firion, it doesn't matter how much damage you've dealt and whether you would have killed the enemy already, you will always attack with both weapons that the character's holding. You don't just stop attacking as soon as the enemy's dead. Yeah, so we'll grab the chest in the middle and then go all the way to the bottom left. Some of these engagements will get a lot rougher, so again, feel free to flee. This dungeon is kind of a stat check again, but also is just one of probably, I think, the hardest earlier ones. And in here we got mines and balloons. So balloons are just the next tier up of the bombs, and they'll have a higher self-destruct value, so if you can take them out, do so. So obviously we're up to self-destruct 5 now, and it's going to be doing around 200 damage to us, which is a lot. So they definitely need to die when possible. Thankfully Firion can take one out by himself, and some sustained hits might be able to take out the others. The balloons are not a problem, like, they'll go down to just a stiff breeze on them at this point with the level we're at. But more golden armor is nice. But yeah, definitely a quick heal up on Firion after that fight. It's golden armor ups your defense, but your magic interference and your evasion go down. It's probably worth equipping on somebody, but again, it's up to you. You can choose how you want to balance all of those stats out. But yeah, we want to go down these stairs over here. We've been poisoned by them again. So I believe the only enemy we're looking for in this area now is the Red Soul, because I did the Wraith. Although I did skip over it. And then in this door here, and takes you to the Red Soul. This is the last area enemy we're looking for, as well as the last chest we're looking for. So this is an enemy that has about 500 HP. Will hit us with fire attacks. Do not use any magical element that we have on him, because it absorbs all of them. So we'll need to do physical attacks and just slowly hit it. So as you can see there, even Thunder heals it. You'd think it would be weak to... You think it would only absorb fire, but it doesn't. Just keep wailing on it. After a certain amount of spells that it casts, it will run out of MP effectively and will no longer be able to cast spells at us, at which point it will just try and physically hit us, but it will do very, very pitiful damage. So, main aim, ride it out and just keep trying to hit it. But you won't do much damage when you do, but just keep everybody topped up with heals, and everybody else just physically attack it. Annoyingly, the armor it's got is pretty high. But yeah, magic is useless for you here. So that's another spell cast. I hope that we're healing probably around about the same as it's dealing. There we are. So that should at least keep Gordon alive, but we'll just have to keep this on repeat. Double cure will just top everybody up enough. Unfortunately, Guy's cure level is a lot lower than Maria's. Yeah, as you can see there, it's now starting to do physical attacks, which it's unlikely to hit us, and when it does, it will do very, very little damage. Thankfully, Firian's on the point with the Werebuster, because it's a club weapon as well. It's a lot more likely to go through armor. So, a couple more turns and we should have it down. 69-0, and that's enough to take it down. And some more stat increases on all of the weapons. And that's the final enemy we need to defeat in this area. So open the last chest. There we are. Eagle's Torch. So that's the thing that we need. And then feel free to teleport out, because I don't particularly want to run through all the floors to get out, because that encounter rate was ridiculous. So I'm just going to teleport out. And then that's Cash and Keep finished. So I hope you enjoyed that episode and that you were able to follow through and get all the chests and the monsters as I did. And I will catch you again shortly in part 5. See you all soon. Bye.